Reading out aloud more fan reviews of Invasion of the Dinosaurs from the DWRG from Mike Jenkins on the 19th of November 2001. The weakest story of the Third Doctor's era, and possibly the entire series up to this point, Invasion of the Dinosaurs has very little to recommend it. It relies for much of its impact on the sight of dinosaurs appearing in present-day London, but unfortunately the model work by which these scenes are realised is pathetic, and like many stories of the period, it is too long. The reaction elicited should be one of shock and horror, but it is actually one of mirth, failing damaging the story's credibility. To make matters worse, Malcolm Hulke's scripts are far too heavy-handed in their moralising. This was probably inevitable, as his stories always deal with morals, a storyline that can wear a bit thin. The Operation Golden Age idea is trite and unconvincing. The lengthy chase sequence in episode 5 is totally gratuitous and one of the most blatant examples of padding ever seen in Doctor Who. The best aspect of the story is a sequence where Sarah wakes up to find herself apparently on board a spaceship en route to another planet, but this fails to compensate for the story's many shortcomings, Doctor Who at its worst. But then, Tim Roll Pickering says a very strong character piece, the 9th of the 5th '02. Maybe it's because part 1 now only exists as a poor quality black and white film copy, but it feels extremely like the opening installment of a 1960s story as the Doctor and Sarah search for a strange environment where things have been turned upon their head and eventually discover the nature of the threat, with many seemingly familiar reference points appearing to confuse us. Of course, it's now in colour, but it's been colorized since then, but of course at one time it was only available as a black and white recording copy. The first story since Inferno, which is a contemporary Earthbound setting but doesn't show Earth as an all-familiar setting. Invasion is an excellent first episode for hooking the viewer for the rest of the story. Invasion of the Dinosaurs is incredibly well constructed with some very strong ideas, ranging from the evacuation of London to the plans of Whittaker and Grover to recreate a supposed golden age. It is unfortunate that the story is so often remembered for its special effects, as dinosaurs are poorly realised by modern standards, and more recent offerings such as Jurassic Park show up all their weaknesses. Nevertheless, the production team is to be commended for attempting a story on such an ambitious scale, and the effects should not be condemned because of their failure to stand the test of time after 3 decades. Script-wise, Invasion of the Dinosaurs contains all of Malcolm Hulke's usual magic, with every single character shown as a real person rather than as a cliché cardboard cutout. It is possible to sympathise with Whittaker, Grover and Yates, amongst others, as they are shown to genuinely believe that they are making the work a better place. A name the Doctor, as pointed out in this story, has long shared. Of a special interest is the way in which Mike Yates is used. The idea that a regular companion could turn traitor of his own free will is astounding even today, and serves to give the character an extremely strong departure from unit that shows him at times genuinely wrestling with himself to work out what course of action to take. Equally strong are both the Brigadier and Benton, appearing with a stronger degree of seriousness than usual for the later Pertwee stories, and they show themselves to be loyal and dependable as ever, most obviously in the scene where Benton tells the Doctor to overpower him and then steps back. The story contains many memorable images too, from the Doctor's new card of dinosaurs, and is supported by some strong acting and direction, but above all, Invasion of the Dinosaurs is a character piece focusing on the desirability of trying to take the world back to some mythical past golden age. This is a strong story that deserves revisiting again and again.